You have been shooting clays for years, maybe decades. You show up at the range, buy a round, walk the stations, and shoot whatever the course gives you. Some days you shoot well. Most days you shoot about the same. And if you're honest, your score has not moved in a long time. Here is the uncomfortable truth. You are not practicing. You are just shooting. And there is a specific, measurable difference between the two, especially after 50. Today, I am going to give you a structured practice routine that takes 25 minutes, uses one box of shells, and targets the exact areas where over 50 shooters lose the most targets. By the end, you will have a repeatable system you can take to any range, any session, and know that every shell is building your score, not just filling the air with smoke. And before we start, please subscribe to the channel. Why random practice is costing you targets. Let us start with what most shooters actually do at the range, because this is where the leak happens. You arrive, you grab your gun, you walk onto the first available station and start shooting. Maybe you gravitate toward the targets you like, the ones you break cleanly. Maybe you avoid the ones that embarrass you. You go home feeling like you practiced, but if someone asked you what you specifically worked on, you would not have an answer. That is not practice. That is repetition without intention. And after 50, it is actively harmful. Here is why. When you were 30, your nervous system was forgiving. You could shoot a slightly wrong move 100 times, and your body would gradually self-correct. Past 50, that forgiveness disappears. If you repeat a flawed mount, a sloppy swing, or a late visual pickup 50 times in a session, your nervous system does not fix it. It encodes it. That bad pattern becomes your default. Getting rid of it now takes 3 to 4 times longer than it would have a decade ago. But the reverse is also true, and this is the part most shooters never discover. When you practice the right thing with the right focus, the improvement after 50 comes faster than you expect. Your brain is still fully capable of rewiring. It just needs cleaner signal and less noise. This routine gives you both. Phase 1. The Mount Audit. 5 minutes, 0 shells. Phase 1 costs you nothing and fixes everything. It is also the phase almost every shooter skips. Your mount is the single most repeated movement in your shooting. If it is inconsistent, if the gun comes to a slightly different place on your cheek, your shoulder, or your eye every time, then every shot you take after that is built on shifting ground. You are essentially rolling the dice on every target and hoping your body compensates. After 50, it often does not. Here is the drill. 5 minutes. Unloaded gun. Facing a wall or a fixed point on the range. Step 1. Call the target in your head and mount the gun. When you reach full mount, freeze. Do not rush past this. Check 3 things. Is your cheek pressed firmly and consistently on the comb? Is the rib running straight and level? Is the stock seated in the same pocket of your shoulder? Do this 10 times in a row. If you find your cheek creeping up or your shoulder pocket shifting, that is the leak in your game. You just found it without spending a single shell. Step 2. Add a slow pivot. Mount the gun, then swing through a gentle arc, left shoulder to right shoulder. 5 reps. Feel whether the stock stays locked into your shoulder pocket as your upper body rotates. For many shooters over 50, stiffness in the upper back causes the gun to drift out of the pocket during the swing. This drill exposes it immediately. 10 static mounts, 5 swing-through mounts, 5 minutes, 0 shells. This is not optional. This is the foundation. Phase 2. The Score Builder. 5 minutes, 10 shells. Phase 2 is where we load the gun, but we start with the easiest target on the course, the straightaway. On a trap field, that is a full house bird going directly away from you. On a skeet layout, station 7. On a sporting course, find the closest thing to a going away presentation. Why start simple? Because Phase 2 is not about challenge. It is about building rhythm and confirming that the mount you just drilled actually holds up with live fire. You have exactly 2 focus cues for this phase. Cue 1, your eyes lock onto the leading edge of the clay, not the body, the very front edge. That is where the target is going, and that is where your brain needs to send the gun. Cue 2, let the gun come through. Do not stop the swing at the shot. Follow through like the target is still flying. Shoot 10 birds. Between each one, consciously reset. Feet set. Weight slightly forward. Eyes soft and wide as you call for the target. If you're breaking them cleanly, perfect. That rhythm is exactly what you carry into phase 3. If you are missing and you do not know why, stop after 5. Unload. Come back to the mount. 9 times out of 10, the mount slipped from what you built in phase 1. Fix it now, not later. Phase 3. The weak side attack. 8 minutes, 10 shells. This is where the 10 target improvement actually lives. Every shooter has a weak side, a direction where the clays feel faster, more confusing, and harder to read. For most right-handed shooters, it is the left-to-right crosser. For some, it is the high incoming bird. Whatever your consistent miss pattern is, and you know what it is, that is what phase 3 is for. Spend all 10 shells on that 1 week presentation. Same station, same target, over and over. Here is the critical mindset shift. You're not trying to hit the target. You're trying to understand why you miss it. That is a completely different approach, and it changes everything. After your first 5 birds, stop. Ask yourself one diagnostic question. Am I losing the clay visually? Meaning I cannot track it cleanly all the way to the break point? That is a visual focus problem. Or am I tracking it fine, but the gun is not where I expect it to be? That is a mount or lead problem. Knowing which one it is separates shooters who improve from shooters who just keep grinding. A visual problem needs soft focus work and an earlier pickup point. A lead problem needs a hold point adjustment or a mount correction. One adjustment. Take your last 5 shells and apply it consciously. Even one small correction, deliberately applied, is worth more than 50 frustrated attempts on your weak side. This phase alone can add 5 to 7 targets to your score over a few weeks because you're finally fixing the specific presentation that has been dragging your round down. Phase 4. The confidence lock. 5 minutes, 5 shells. Phase 4 is the one most shooters skip because they do not understand what it does. How you finish a practice session matter. If your last 10 shots were on your weak side and you ended frustrated, your brain encodes that frustration. You're slightly less confident walking onto the range next time, slightly less likely to commit to the target, slightly more likely to hesitate. Phase 4 fixes that. Go back to your easiest target, the straightaway. Station 7. Whatever broke cleanest in Phase 2. Shoot your remaining 5 shells there. Your only instruction: mount well, stay on the front edge, and enjoy clean breaks. This is not ego practice. This is neuroscience. Ending a session with clean, confident hits reinforces the positive motor pattern your brain is building. It tells your nervous system, this is working, come back to this. You are building a library of correct repetitions. Phase 4 adds good pages to that library every single time. How to progress the routine. Once this routine feels natural, usually after 2 or 3 sessions, here is how you progress it. In Phase 3, move to a slightly more demanding version of your weak target. A bit faster, a bit higher, a bit further. Step 1 notch up, not 3. In Phase 2, add 1 new cue. Once your eyes are consistently on the front edge, start shifting your body weight slightly forward through the shot. Every 3 sessions, write down 1 sentence about what Phase 3 revealed. Over time, you will see your weak side shift, improve, and eventually become something you actually look forward to. That is how 10 targets appear on your scorecard, not from shooting more, but from practicing smarter. Drop your biggest weak side struggle in the comments. If you found this useful, hit like and subscribe. Keep the sessions focused, keep the form honest, and I will see you in the next one.